What's good, Panther Nation? Welcome back to Two Fans in the Stands. I am your favorite couch scout extraordinaire, Tony.
And I am your exhausted favorite armchair GM, CJ.
You exhausted, right?
Exhausted player. Exhausted.
Listen, today we're going to recap the curb stomping that the Panthers received at the hands of the Detroit Lions. Let's go. Cuzzo, what's good with you today, man? I would ask you how you feeling, but we're gonna skip those pleasantries. You feel like you want to tell us what's going on with the with your back with your background, bro? You got questions, I assume. What's good?
Um, Panther Nation. Okay. As you see in my background, there are a lot of question marks. I don't know anymore. Okay. Everything I thought was going to happen hasn't happened. Everything I wanted to happen hasn't happened. The only thing that's obvious right now is I got a big ass forehead sitting there leaning up against this microphone. But that's a whole lot clearer than anything that's going on with these damn Carolina Panthers.
Facts.
I'm telling you, man, it's woo boy. Mm. Hey, how the hell are you, cuz? How you doing?
Hey, I was so glad that we didn't recap last night because I was like in my feelings. I probably was going to say something that you know I'm not the regrettable type, but I probably would have regretted some things if I was just
Man.
speaking based on my immediate emotions. But hey, this is game 5. I said at the beginning of the season, typically at the 4 or 5 weeks, you kind of get an idea of where you
Mm-hmm.
are and who you are. Okay.
Okay.
And right now, who the Carolina Panthers are is not a good football team. Just point blank, period. We're not a good football team, man. We stop. I'm not trying to be. I'm not going to be as optimistic as I was in the beginning because there's enough tape now to show me that it is what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
all you can do, from my perspective, is continue to hope for the better. What that looked like, I don't know. Still my team. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
root for them every week.
Oh
Come
yeah.
hell or high water, them my boys. But right now they don't give me anything to be happy about, anything to want to pick up the phone and call somebody and be like, I told you, da 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 da, none of that. It just made me just wanna. It is what it is. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I'm feeling, man. How you feeling?
Hey, speaking the hell of high water, all right, we are close. We are close to our goal of 1,000
Yes,
subscribers. Okay, hell of high
yes.
water, we're gonna get to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. And I want to say thank you to everybody out there that has subscribed so far. But if you haven't, you know the drill. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those post notification bells so you know when our videos come out. We thank you and appreciate all the support so far. All right. But me, man, it's just more of the same. And okay, and I will start off by saying this. I'm still not like a lot of people in Panther Nation, a lot of fans. Okay. I don't believe that the topic every day or after every game is Bryce Young. Bryce Young, Bryce Young, Bryce Young, Bryce Young. Okay. And I say that because everybody acts like Bryce is out there playing by himself. He is 1 on 11. Okay. You might as you just might as well throw him out there and put him on defense too, because he's the reason for everything. Okay.
Let
And
them
that
tell it. Let Panther
let them
Nation tell
tell
it,
it.
huh?
All right. And that's just not the case. All right. He
Right.
has what 21 other teammates that are out there stinking it up just as bad, if not worse, than he is. But but I will say now, as much as I defend Bryce, he gonna catch the smoke today because that was just a bad game. It really was. Okay,
You
and
know
he
it.
had 3 touchdowns and he had
Yeah.
240 something yards, but he threw two of the dumbest damn passes I have ever seen in my life. on that screen and that the other interception. Now, mind you, we were talking before the corner baited him. He played a good, he did his thing, but to me, still that was not a ball that he should have thrown. Okay. Now, I say that also the defense gave up 42 damn points. Okay. And I'm
Facts.
I'm, I'm missing everybody talking about Bryce because all day long, that's all I've heard. Bryce, 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 Bryce. Nobody, I ain't heard nobody talk about the 42 points that the defense gave up.
Exactly. You know what? You bring forth a valid point because I have not seen that one time on Twitter
Mm-mm.
today. Now, one
Nope.
time have I seen anybody mention how the defense got a damn dump truck ran over their ass,
Mm-hmm.
and the secondary looked like they're playing an XFL.
Hold on, and I will give you a prime example. Okay, all I saw on YouTube and comments and stuff today, and on Facebook. Oh, the defense, they were on the field 80% of the time. No, they weren't. Before our first turnover on the Lions' first possession, they took 3 plays, 2 passes to wide open receivers in the middle of the field on the sideline, and then one long ass run from Montgomery touchdown, where he really
Yep.
got lost behind the offensive lineman, and the commentators were like, Franklin and Jameson. I don't know, they kind of didn't quit on the play, but it looked like they may have thought the play was over because they didn't see him. And then here comes Montgomery whizzing around the sideline all the way down for a touchdown. You know,
Yep.
but that's my
That's
thing.
basically how it happened.
The defense was done. I'm sorry, they were done after Detroit's first drive. That told me all I needed to know about how the defense was going to play this game. All right, they missing
Right.
Gibbs, missing St. Brown, their number one receiver and their their backup running back. Um, I still don't. To me, I still don't understand why a lot of people thought because just them two good people were missing that we really had a shot. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't have much hope, even though the two of them were missing, because Montgomery is the clear number one back in Detroit. And even though St. Brown was out, I mean our defense is Swiss cheese, especially our secondary.
Like,
So
yeah, I was just getting ready to say, like, somebody mentioned in the comments a couple days ago where that was like, well, it was a Detroit Lions fan. He was like, well, y'all guys might have a chance because Amon-Ra St. Brown is out, Jameer Gibbs will be out, and Brian Branch is out. And I was thinking to
mhm,
myself, I was like, okay, that might be true. You mentioned one bona fide star that's out. Let's look at our secondary. J.C.
yeah,
Horn is out. Dante Jackson is out. Xavier Woods is out. That's 3/4 of our secondary, our starting
mhm,
secondary. So now
yeah,
you tell me we gotta rely on Deshaun Jameson, Troy Hill, CJ Henderson, and Sam Franklin at safety. Now,
yeah,
mind you, Sam Franklin, he's been doing okay, but he's
mhm,
still not on Xavier Woods level.
yeah.
I
Troy Hill
know he
needs
had
to
to
play
pick
more.
right. Troy Hill is a dog. Troy
Mhm,
Hill is a dog, all caps. Yeah, he's the dog. I tweeted that out yesterday
saw
as a
that.
matter of fact during the game. But yeah, man, you know I've been struggling all day trying to find something positive because I don't want to get on here and just be all negative, negative, negative. But hell, it seems like that's all we got to go on. But like,
Mhm,
what positives can we take out of it? Um, I guess you could say the passing game looked a little better in the second half.
it did.
It didn't look that basic vanilla, that cement, that sidewalk vanilla that you call
Yeah,
you
melted
know
on the
that
sidewalk vanilla.
yeah, they started to put a little bit more creativity into the passing game. Bryce Young did throw the 2 interceptions, but he also had 3 touchdowns. So
Mhm,
I'm chopping that up as a even. It even out. His first half compared to his second half. But the defense, like you and I have been mentioning ever since we let Marquand McCall go, we cut Wade Bravion Roy, and we got rid of John Pennicini because couldn't stay healthy,
Stay
couldn't
healthy.
find himself on the field. So that was all our big boys in the middle. And the one thing that we said was teams are going to run the ball down our throat because the weakest link to us is straight up the middle. Now you don't have Shaq Thompson at linebacker, which I think that was a liability anyway. We could talk about that another day. But yeah, and the NFL is a copycat league. So
Mhm.
what every other team has seen Atlanta do that first week, they're going to copy that, and it's been copycatted every week that since then, and it's going to be that same formula for the rest of the season until we start it.
Mhm.
Now we got Miami coming up next week. What the hell we gonna do
Oh,
with this 4x4 Olympic track team? I
man,
have no idea.
they
I
gonna put. Let me tell you, they put 70 on the Broncos. Hey, they gonna put 75, 80 on us, man. Hey,
listen.
I'm sorry.
I don't even want to give a score prediction on that game this week. Because
Oh, I
I
am.
gotta tell the people the truth, and well, what I'm gonna tell them ain't looking good. Looking good.
Yo,
Damn.
oh my goodness.
But go
Well,
ahead, cuz. What you got for us, man?
just much
Before
of
I
the
go off on a
same.
tangent.
Look, just much of the same, man. Our run defense was porous again. We gave up 159 yards. David Montgomery had 109. Craig Reynolds came in the game on Detroit's final touchdown drive. Basically they're running back three. And I mean, and they sat there and handed the ball off, and he ran straight down the field. Straight down the field. And then what made it so bad was when he got the touchdown, it was like 16 guys that fell in front of him. He did the ballerina leap over all of them and then just glided right on in the end zone. And I was just sitting there like, man, look at this shit here. Oh my God. Yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad. And like we were discussing earlier, I hate to say this because I was one that thought this signing was great, and I had predictions that this man was going to rush for over 1,300 yards this season. But I promise you, if Miles Sanders fumbles one more damn time, I'm about this close. I'm about this close to being done with him. Okay,
Well,
this
I'm
close.
ahead. I'm ahead of you because I honestly believe that Chuba Hubbard will be starting this week against Miami.
Hey, look, I got to eat a whole humble pie on that one because I was giving Chuba Hubbard hell, beginning of the season and in the off season training camp. So
And
hey,
last year,
hey, well, hey, no, he
so
deserved it
we
last year.
both,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
we both
deserved it
was
last
giving
year.
hell. We
But
both was
but
giving him hell.
I got a man up here and be like, you know what? Hey, let Chuba. Hell, my thing is, and you know what else I'm tired of seeing? I'm tired of seeing Laviska Shenault get in the game, make a couple really good plays, and then disappear for the rest of the game. It's
Yeah,
like he makes 2 or 3 good plays, and they're like, you know what? Nah, that's too many. Go on to the sideline. And it's like another play is not called for him for the rest of the game.
yeah,
I don't get it. I mean I don't get it. And like I said, it's enough blame to go around. I think the only person on this team, or the only group on this team that's actually doing their job is special teams. All right, Eddie Pinero only missed
fact.
one kick this year. Johnny Heck is doing his thing, punting. So
Yeah,
yeah, JJ Jansen ain't snapped the ball over nobody head 30 yards backwards. So if you want any positives, Panther fans, special teams are doing great.
yeah,
They're getting a
that's
lot of
about
work.
it.
That is about it.
That is,
Offensively, defensively, this team is terrible. They are
yeah.
terrible, terrible,
He's-
terrible, terrible.
you, we have to call a spade, man.
Mhm.
Hey, listen, shout out the only other one positive that I hope that Panther Nation and the team as a whole can take a look at is something that Frank Wright had mentioned before. I think it was last week, and football analysts around the league, ESPN, those guys. One thing that we can do, and I don't know how that would do, how well it would do for anybody's psyche right now, because
Mhm.
this is a lead where people want results right now. But
Mhm.
let's look back and see where the Detroit Lions were last year, 1-6 before they went on their run, and look at where they are now. But at the same time, I truly believe that a team is a direct reflection of the head coach. They got a
Mhm.
dog in the head coach and
Damn
Coach
sure do.
Campbell. Not only that, their defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn is a dog, former player.
Mhm.
So those guys attract and go out and get guys that mimic their attitude and the behavior and the type of attitude that they want on the team. So when you look at Detroit, Detroit looks nothing how they used to be. Nothing
Mm-mm.
how they used to be. And they go out and they went out and they got some dogs. You know what I mean? They got some
Yeah.
guys that love the game, want to play the game hard, play the game the right way.
Mhm.
We can only hope, we can only hope to eventually get to that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I say, we have to keep hope alive. I mean, take our lumps right now. It is what it is. You can't go nowhere but up. Okay?
Hey,
You
you
can't
you
go
know
nowhere
what?
but
And look, and when you say keep hope alive, hey, whatever little bit of hope y'all got left, just stick it in the dresser drawer, wrap it up in the sock or something, push that shit all the way to the back, and just leave that shit there for next year. Ain't no use to wasting the hope for the rest of this year. Because like we said, it is what it is. I'm not even gonna lie, Tony. I think we'll be lucky if we win one game this year. And that's
just
another one, because let me tell you, I got my black ass up here and was like, "Oh, I think we're gonna make the playoffs, that we got a chance to win the division,
you
this,
and I
that, the
both.
third." Man, let me
You and
tell
I
you that,
both.
woo, boy,
We
I would
were
be the first to admit I was wrong.
Our
God.
optimism was on the stream.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
our
yes,
optimism was on the stream. We have been brought back to reality real quick. It's
yeah,
okay. Hey,
mhm,
that's how we're supposed to be about our team. But like when the facts are the facts and the truth is the truth, you have to call it how
mhm,
you see it. And
but you
some
oh,
people go ahead.
no, you good, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm saying some people want to beat their chest, walking around beating their chest because they feel a certain way about a player and they player didn't get drafted and now Bryce Young is a bust. I don't know how the man is a bust 5 weeks after the season.
Mhm,
I 5 games into the season, but that is crazy. Just some of the nonsense that you hear floating
mhm,
around Panther Nation about our very own franchise quarterback, the very
yeah,
quarterback that we have been hoping to get the past 4 or 5 years, ever since Cam Newton left or got injured. We've been wanting a franchise quarterback. Now we got one, and now you got people around here talking around him like he ain't shit. Like like you said the other day or last week, we
mhm,
got some of the worst fans in the business, man, and
mhm,
it's pathetic. It's
yeah.
pathetic.
Yeah, and
Hey,
I will stand on that. Some of y'all in the
yeah,
Panther Nation ain't worth a damn. Not
yeah.
worth a
I mean,
damn. Now mind you,
Bryce Young,
you got a
yeah,
reason to be upset. I'm sorry, Tony. Go
yeah.
ahead.
No. I'm saying no. You're right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we got a reason to be upset. We got a
Yeah,
reason to be upset. But I just need everybody to look at it. Take the beer goggles off and look at it objectively and look at the entire team. Okay. Now, mind you,
exactly,
if
exactly.
we were out there rushing for 100 something yards a game, the offensive line opening holes, protecting Bryce all game, every game, the defense out there holding teams to, 10, 13 points, and then we were still losing. And you can sit there and point your finger at Bryce and be like, yeah, he's the only joker out here that ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing. Then by all means, go at it, go at him. Okay. And
Right,
like I said,
right.
he was gonna catch the smoke from me today, because I don't care if he threw 3 touchdowns yesterday. He threw two of the worst in it. Those were two. interceptions were worse than the ones he threw against Atlanta. You know,
The first one would I give you that first. I can agree with you on that second one.
hey,
I can't
you
agree
know
with
what?
you on that
Look,
second.
at this point, I don't care if you agree with me or not. They were both terrible. Like Charles Barkley said, terrible. You know,
Yeah,
but I will say this one thing though. I caught some of PNP's recap yesterday or the live coverage, and
yeah.
Rashad said something that really hit me, and he was like, "Man, this has to be the absolute worst case scenario as far as the whole trade thing goes." Like the absolute worst case scenario because we gave up the number one pick. I mean, we gave up our number one pick for next year to the Bears. All right, and now we're at the bottom of the league, so it's looking well. It's we would give them the number one pick. You know, they
Mhm.
traded us number one pick this year. Now we're gonna give them the number one pick back next year. Plus, they're gonna have their own first round pick. Okay, and
I'm not. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say that this is the worst trade ever because you have to understand that in order to get Bryce
Mhm.
Young, we had to trade up. We had to give up
Yeah.
something, which we had to trade up to the number one pick to get. So it's like you give something to get something. Now the
Mhm.
fruit of that labor has not been immediate like everyone wants to see. Okay,
Mhm.
but it's a long term process.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long term process, regardless of what people may think. It's a long term process. Everybody wanted to
Mhm.
jump on DJ Moore bandwagon the other day because he had 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. Okay, he had a hell of a game, a hell of a
Mhm.
game. Show me some consistency. Show me
Yeah.
some consistency week in and week out. Don't be just a fair weather bandwagon hop on, hop off. Like one of them hop on, hop off buses, and then once
Mhm.
kick dirt on Bryce Young or say this is the worst trade ever. And this, no, we can't say that. The same quarterback, again, like I said, the same type of quarterback that we wanted to get and have been screaming for the Panthers to be aggressive in getting. They made that move. Now that we made the move, it ain't working out like most people thought initially, immediately. Now we want to
Mhm.
say it's the worst pick ever. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, I wasn't saying
that's
it's
crazy.
the worst trade ever. I'm just saying right now in this particular moment, this is the worst case scenario that we're in right now from what we've done. You get what I'm saying? Like right now is worst case scenario. Like we got Bryce Young and we're 0-6 and the whole team is just falling apart. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm with you. It's a long-term process. It is. But right now, this is probably the worst possible position we could be in right now. That's what I mean. I didn't
You
mean it
know,
was the worst trade ever.
no, and I wasn't saying that you said that, but I have
Okay.
seen people say that on Twitter and
Mhm.
make that assumption or what have you. But I would be willing to say, well, this trade doesn't look good if the offensive line was playing like they were playing last year. Then
Mhm.
Bryce wouldn't have no excuse for the offense or him looking like they're looking right now. The very thing that was our strength last year was which was the offensive line is our weakest at this point. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So that same offensive line that we thought that we could just drop a quarterback in and magic would appear,
Mhm.
it's the
Yep.
weakest link on the team right now. It's actually
Yeah.
the weakest link on the team. Granted, there's some injuries, things like that that's going on. That's why you
Mhm.
have to have the right depth. You have to develop these guys, things like that. But it's not the same strength that it was last year. And that has played a lot into the reason Bryce has been playing the way he's been playing thus far this year. Because not only affecting the passing game, it's definitely affected the run game. So
Mhm.
run blocking, pass protection, countless penalties. I
Yeah,
mean, it all starts up front, man. It all starts up front. Offense and defensive line. It always starts in the trenches. When your trenches ain't shit, the
team
the
ain't.
the, the red right, the team ain't gonna be shit. So it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. Now I got to give the offensive line a little bit of credit yesterday. Now they did keep him pretty clean for most of the game,
Yeah,
and
yes, yeah, they
I
did.
saw a stat when Bryce has the time, he finds the receivers if they're open, and that was on display. I think the most it has been for us yet this season. Okay, you know
Hmm.
receivers were open, Bryce was hitting them. Okay. Mind you, you throw in the turnovers, you throw in the penalties, then you throw our defense's lack of ability to stop the run. And I mean, and it's not just the run. Jared Goff had, let me see, 236 yards passing, but he was getting a lot of chunk plays. Like
Yes.
his passes just they cut deep. I mean, like
It was
he
like
was
none of the
ball, you
wide receivers, like none of their catches were contested.
no,
They were just wide open.
yeah, yep, they were wide open, and then my man CJ Henderson, he did all right for a couple games, but he done gone back to the person that can't turn around and locate the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well,
I ain't gonna harp on him because I mean, injuries are killing us, but at the same time, you know, the depth on the team has to step up, and I think that's another thing where as far as the draft goes, I think we missed a lot of it this year on the draft. I still believe in Bryce, okay, but I'm not even gonna lie. From Mingo on down, I'm not really I'm looking back at it now. I'm just like DJ Johnson ain't done nothing. I actually saw him in the game yesterday. I saw
yeah.
him one play and then he got blocked, and I don't remember seeing him, again. Jamie Robinson ain't done nothing. Zavala, and first of all, thank God he's okay. Let me say that before I say this. Thank God he's all right, but he hasn't looked good this year. Mingo to me, he's
He looked good yesterday.
yeah, he looked all right
He looked his
yesterday.
best yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. But and I say that to say, look at the Lions on the other side of the ball. Look what they did with they draft. They got Sam Laporta. They got Jack Campbell. They got Jameer
Talk
Gibbs.
about it.
Oh my goodness. I can't think of who else they got, but it's just like you know, you look at the Lions, look at the Panthers. Okay. Hopefully in a few years, maybe this is where we'll be. But right now, yeah, it's a mess.
You
It's
know,
it's a complete and utter mess.
I wasn't too high on Jameer Gibbs coming out of the draft because I knew he wasn't gonna be like an every down back.
Mhm,
But countless times on our draft, on our mock draft, I had Sam Laporta and I
mhm.
had Jack Campbell.
Jack Campbell, yes, sir.
I was
Yep.
stumping for Jack Campbell for real, for real. Like I was like, let's get him in the second round. If we can get him, and if we couldn't
Mhm.
get Michael Mayer at linebacker, hey, we had Sam Laporta and
Luke
Dalton King.
Musgrave, Dalton
Yeah,
Kincaid.
yeah, Dalton Kincaid. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, when I look at them now and I look what they're doing in Detroit, I'm like, yeah, they sure will look good in that processed blue.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
But you
and
know what
then
though, I will say this, shout out to all the Detroit fans that commented on our preview this week. We
yeah,
appreciate y'all because I remember last year when we had started the podcast and we got down into the season, it was the Detroit game where a lot of the Lions fans came through, showed us some love and talked to us.
yeah,
I just want to shout out
facts.
the Lion fans. We appreciate y'all too.
Let me tap into something real quick, and I
Mhm.
wasn't gonna bring this up. What do you think of the whole miscommunication, as Frank Wright called it, as far as getting Terrace Marshall Jr. in the game. Now, before you answer that,
Bullshit.
let me tell you why I asked that question. And
Mhm.
it goes back to something that you have kind of harped on back in the preseason and the first
Mhm.
couple of weeks when we talk about game planning.
Mhm.
How do you not have a game plan or have certain packages for certain players to come in at certain times, especially if they're not starting? How you go from your leading receiver from last week having 9 catches to him not playing? He didn't even see the field.
Mm-mm.
He did not
Nope.
even
Him
touch
at
a
all.
blade of grass in those 60 minutes of game time yesterday. I I,
Mhm.
w- I was under the mind maybe he got hurt during pregame warm up. Nobody said nothing, or it was something that we didn't know nothing about.
Mhm.
No, he did not play in the game because Frank Wright said that's on him. He didn't communicate with the people that needed to be communicated with. What in the entire hell is going on? Like, if that
Hey,
ain't Matt Rule 2.0 type shit, I don't know what it is. Go ahead,
hey.
CJ.
I call bullshit on that one. I call it. You mean to tell me between Frank Wright, Sean Jefferson, McCown, Thomas
Thomas
Brown,
Brown.
Deuce. I mean, I know McCown is the quarterback coach and Deuce is the running back coach, but Deuce is also the assistant head coach. Between all them guys on offense, Terrace Marshall just was sitting on the sideline, and it was just like, oh, well, it was just a miscommunication. Like, no, if
Yeah,
you didn't game plan for him to be in the game at all. Talking about some, oh yeah,
yeah.
I sent him a message and blah blah. Man, go on somewhere with that mess, Frank. I'm telling you, you know what? You know what? Just like I am with Miles Sanders, I'm about this close to being done with Frank Wright too, man. I'm telling you, he's getting on my nerves. He's working my last nerve. He is. I'm so tired of hearing that same old sad song every week from him, and and you go out and make a different mistake each week. It's like the stuff that you did good the week before. Or yeah, man. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know. Hey, I don't know. When I say two fans or two frustrated Panther fans, that's an understatement right there. And our whole fan base is frustrated, which they should be. Which they should
yeah,
be.
they
Now,
should
some of
be
y'all are taking it a little too far. Some of y'all are
way
wanting to
too
stick your
far.
chest out and like, oh, I was right. I was right. It ain't getting you nowhere. It ain't getting us nowhere. But yeah,
Right, exactly.
this is
All
definitely a
these "I
frustrating
told
time.
you so," and
Mhm.
this, I can't say what I want to say that's been said, but
Yeah.
all this "I told you so" and all this, like, come on, dog. This
I ain't
either you a fan and
or
you
you
gonna
not.
roll with the punches or you're not. You know what I'm saying? If you lukewarm,
Mhm.
fall your ass on the other side of the fence. As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
I
I ain't never seen so many people seem like they so happy that they were right. I told you so. My thing is, if you got another team that you don't like just say if Desmond Ridder down in Atlanta was just playing like crap this year, which I can't sit here and say that he is because I think he's actually doing okay. But if somebody's like, us and we say, well, Desmond doing this or he ain't doing that, yeah, I told you so. I get that, but
right.
I've never seen as many Panther fans that act like that they are getting something, out of I told you so. I was right. I was right. So yeah,
Who
I
cares?
don't know.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah, yeah.
Well, cuz you got anything else before we get out of here, man?
Oh, that'll be a big hell no. No, no, no. On and close us out.
Well, there you have it, Panther Nation. Thank you for watching Two Fans in the Stands. Click the subscribe button, hit the like and the post notification bells. Until then, Panther Nation, keep pounding.